Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to the Bears Den. How is everyone doing today, guys? Hope everybody is having a great day today. It's Tuesday night, it's talk show night, so we're gonna talk video games. Because, once again, guys, just a friendly reminder to you, we dig through all the shit on the video game news sites, so you don't have to. Because, let's be honest here, half those articles are literally just full of ads, so yeah, not fun. But it's still always nice to get some interesting things in the news. Got some good things, got some not so good things, got some weird things. But needless to say, got some news. So that's always a good thing to have. Savage Dragon, welcome. How are you doing? Hope things are going well for you tonight. Hope you're having a good night. It is Tuesday, so we're 2/5 the way through the work week. That's good, I guess. It's just a matter of getting through the rest of it and how easy that may wind up being. But we'll find that out soon enough. In the meantime, though, I guess it's a thing of, shall we get going, or what? He's giving him thumbs up, so let's get into things now. Alrighty.
A board game.
Welcome, welcome. You're also on your intro scene, by the way.
Oh, am I really still?
Yes. It's a good thing that I have the multi-twitch up.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually literally just saying that I had like a rough weekend because I was testing my board game, and that ended up being like a 12-hour session of that. So Sunday and Monday, I didn't even drink. That's how rough Saturday was.
Oof.
I ended up drinking a lot of alcohol.
Ouch.
But I got a lot of empirical data and fixed it, so you love to see it.
Good to hear, good to hear.
Thank you, thank you. So how are you?
Not bad, not bad. Had my own little bit of a tiring weekend, I shall say.
Yeah.
So playing Factorio on Sunday and just like chilling, relaxing, having the goal be expand the factory and build more. Not a very hard goal to make, to be honest, but yeah, it was fun yeah, time consuming, yeah, that's for certain. But honestly, it was fun to literally just be like, okay, do like semi mindless thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like basically what I set out to do for the first part of the stream there was just build two gigantically huge walls, one on the east border and west border of our factory, because the north and south were like lakes, so we have natural borders there.
Natural
So it's
borders.
just like, okay, let's just boom, east and west walls, there we go, turrets.
It's so funny the games like that, and you know you could put Satisfactory and Minecraft. You go in with like one objective, and then like you're like, oh shit, okay, well I could use some more furnaces. All right, well I'll do that, and
Mhm.
then you start doing that, and then it's like, oh, you know, these could use more solar panels, and then you start like it's just one thing into another into another. That's how they like that's good game design in my opinion.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Because we went into this last Sunday being, hey, we need to work on trains.
Mhm.
We
Touch it.
didn't even touch them.
Classic.
Instead, we wound up developing and researching power armor and shoulder-mounted personal laser defense turrets.
All right, well.
Uh,
Um,
but yeah, it
I
was fun.
know that you have a very uplifting first thing to talk about. So why don't you go ahead and do that?
Yes, yes. Let's start with that one. Considering, let's start off with a good note. Back in September, we all received, the world in general received notice that Sega was shutting down its 9-story arcade in Japan, in the and I'm definitely going to mispronounce this, the Akibukuro district. Um, and fortunately, they did also release other information in regards to why they were shutting it down. They did take a little bit of hit due to COVID, but that's to be expected with all businesses, really. The main reason why they shut it down was because their lease on the building was up. So the owner of the building said, "Hey, I want to go in and renovate and like that." Fine, no problem. Well, they just announced this past week that they're going to open up a new arcade. Not far. Matter of fact, it's just across the street.
Yep.
So if you know where the old one was and you actually went there, guess what? The new one's literally across the street, which
Yeah,
is great.
I think that's I think the bigger point to me that stuck out was that was a big test bed location for a lot of arcade games.
Mhm.
So if you were going to, I'm going to pick a game here at random. I mean, just some game that doesn't mean anything to me, like Street Fighter 4. Um, um, Before the game would officially launch, they would put test units there and basically have big play tests and then take people's input and stuff before official launch. And that's always huge, especially the fighting game industry. And it had been there for what, 20 something,
28
24,
years.
28. Okay. So it's nice to see that we're gonna keep that tradition. We're gonna still have that, like, yes, it's not the same building, but who cares? Like,
Yeah.
the establishment still lives on and that tradition still lives on. So,
Yep. The only downfall is it's going from a 9-story building to a 4-story building. So downsizing a little bit. From what they showed of the new location, they've already got signage up saying, "Hey, first floor is the arcade, second floor is like a cafe, uh, third floor is like photo booths and fun kawaii kind of stuff like that, and fifth floor or fourth floor is I forget what the fourth floor is.
strip club,
Huh?
strip club. I think that came from my heart. I don't know. That's not actually true. I'm just,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't.
that'd be a one-stop shop for House Quino. I'd be like, oh, good. This is great. It's worked out nicely. Yeah,
Uh,
that's great.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's really cool to see that they're continuing it all.
Hmm.
Oh, actually, wait, no, I take that back.
It is a strip club.
Uh, the base, it's 5 stories actually, because they're including the basement.
Oh,
Uh,
cool.
basement one is video games. Floors 1 through 3 are crane games,
Okay,
and 4 is the Ichiban Cafe.
cool.
So
And I know that cafe was actually relatively new too.
yes, yes.
They had moved it in like only like a year or two.
Hmm.
So that's cool. Good.
Yep.
All right, great. There's a
Savage.
lot of crane games though. I will say that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they can make a lot of money realistically.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Savage is like, "What's Street Fighter 4? What is this game no one's ever heard of?"
Shut your mouth, Savage.
But yeah, that definitely is a nice, good thing to start the episode off with this week.
Yeah, I agree. Um, I would like to talk about something that's not as good, but also kind of a little hilarious. So we'll kind of go that way.
Okay.
Um, so with what, last week or the week before last, Back for Blood just launched.
Mhm.
Um, I guess with Back for Blood, and there's that vampire ass one that came out that's in the Vampire the Masquerade
Hmm.
universe.
Interesting.
Yep. So we kind of have now like a glut of these co-op PvE games.
Hmm.
The Aliens Fire Team Elite game, which was released 55 days ago, has dropped to less than 800 players a day.
Hmm.
Active players. Active
Yeah.
players. Um, I like. I'll speak from my my heart. A, um, I love the Aliens franchise. I really, really do.
Hmm.
I think that game looks good. Visually, it looks nice. Um, 3 player didn't really love that, and then the more and more I kind of dug, I was kind of like, all right. Um, but I do feel bad. for that team because it's not like it was a shit game. It wasn't riddled with problems or anything, and I think their max concurrent players that they ever hit was only 12,200,
Ooh,
which isn't bad, but it's not great certainly for a multiplayer game.
yeah,
Um, yeah, kind of sucks, but man, I just want the fucking aliens and Predator license. I know this is separate, but I just want them to fall into somebody's fucking hands who
is
can get
competent.
it right.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you know, like
Hmm.
there hell there's games like GTFO that are still in early access that are kind of better in doing the exact same thing without a licensed property, which means like if you have that licensed property and you can't get that amount of players, it's like, dude. And I know some of it is, lack of content and shit like that, but just sucks, man. Like,
Yeah.
can we ever get a fucking aliens and or predator game um that isn't a bag of shit? Like,
One would hope eventually, yes, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. That's for certain.
yeah, me either. It's not like the fucking movie franchises are doing much better.
Yeah.
Like, frankly.
And I do apologize for laughing when you were commenting there as far as telling the story. I just had the mental relapse back to Colonial Marines and
Oh
the
god.
gigantic shit show that was.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
because you were saying how that game didn't really have any bugs or any major problems, then my mind just went Colonial Marines. I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh,
And I think that that's like a problem, right? Is
hmm,
that like now that franchise has a stigmatism attached to it.
yeah,
Like where, and now granted, thanks a lot, Randy Pitchford, you fucking greasy shitlord. Um, but that really did like fucking hit them badly.
yes,
Like, and it wasn't just Randy and it wasn't just 2K and it wasn't just Sega, but
mhm,
it was, this fucking crock pot of bad
yeah,
that now when everyone thinks of Alien, that's the first thing, right? That's the first thing they go to. Like,
yeah.
that sucks, man.
I,
Like, and you'd think that that would be such an easy franchise. You put some xenomorphs, you let me shoot the xenomorphs. How fucking hard should that be? Like,
if you're going in a actiony way, yes, it shouldn't be very
right,
hard. If you're going in more of a suspenseful horror way, Alien Isolation.
was fantastic. I
Yeah,
actually played it. I beat it. I liked it.
yeah, yeah.
So it just sucks that this franchise just like can't quite get it. Like,
Hmm.
like it sucks to see as an Alien fan, like,
Yeah,
just like, God damn, man.
yep.
Ugh, how many more Alien Resurrections can I go through? Like, like,
you bought Colonial Marines and you can't get rid of the game. I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah. It's
Um,
like syphilis. You just well, you got that for life. Like nobody's taking that off your hands.
so let's see here. We're not even 20 minutes into the episode. We're already going there. What's next? Chatterbait?
Yep, that'll come up, I'm sure.
Okay.
All right, it's on
Uh,
you.
well, it's kind of funny that you mentioned someone being an absolute shitlord. So I'm going to tie into that
Okay.
and bring us back to the ultimate shitlord, who is the absolute disputed. I'm going to say disputed, just flat out. King of Kong.
Mhm.
We all know him, we all hate him, and God help you if you love him, because I don't understand why anyone can. Billy Mitchell, he's back in the news again. He, for those of you who aren't aware, he at one point in time, back in September or August, I forget which, had two lawsuits in two different states for the exact same thing against the exact same people. The one in Florida, they the amount of time that he had expired, and effectively the judge was like, well, you need to talk with legal consult, not me. I can't give you that information, so go talk to your legal team. Meanwhile, the one in California, as much as I hate to say this, the ultimate shitlord has won, and he now has the go ahead to sue Twin Galaxies.
Yep.
So yeah, apparently I realistically hope this will just ultimately 100% bite him in the ass. Because every single piece of evidence that he shows in regards to him being the undisputed first at doing a perfect game in Pac-Man, like every single piece of evidence he's shown, it's always been like, that's not even a Pac-Man board. That's a Miss
Right.
Pac-Man board. And people, for some reason, can't seem to realize that, oh, that's not even the right circuit board for the game. Oh, uh,
Um, I think that the other thing is I, that is true.
yeah.
Um, I think the other thing that's it, it just sucks because like this guy's clearly holding on to like something from the past that he clearly is kind of a shyster,
Uh-huh.
but um this is just it's just making everyone kind of go, "Oh my god, dude, are you done yet? Go sell your fucking hot sauce. Go to your fucking state fairs, hang out with fucking Nickelback, and just get the fuck out. Like nobody cares about you anymore. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like but he's just holding on to this like dream of like ah and what's his Walter Day? Um Walter Day is the guy who originally, ran Twin Galaxies.
Uh-huh.
Also, the sweetest man of all time. The guy is the sweetest guy of all time. I met him 2 times, actually 3 times now, but 2 times. I met him the first time way back in the day at a convention in Philadelphia. And, I just went up and said, "Hey, I just wanted to thank you for all you've done for the video game industry for so many years. And thank you for doing Twin Galaxies and all that." And he was like, "Oh, it's cool." And okay, cool. Years later, I was at Free Play Florida. This was like, I don't know, 4 years ago now. And I walked up to him again and I was like, "Hey, it's nice to see you again, Walter." And he was like, "Oh, it's nice to see you again." And he went, "Alex, right?" And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" He remembered me by name, remembered where
Damn.
I'd met him. Yeah, dude, honestly, just a great, like, cool guy who clearly gives a shit about, like, things that, especially in the 80s into the 90s, nobody was keeping records like this,
Yeah, yeah,
It just and to like have all this like and part of his legacy dragged down by this fucking mulleted shitlord,
yeah.
just pisses me off.
It,
Like I just want this man to go away.
yeah.
Like just go away.
And realistically, as much as I hate to say it, this is the only thing he has.
That's why he's holding on to it so
Yeah,
much.
that's why
Like
he's making such a big deal
right.
about it. And it's like, okay, yay, you supposedly were the first to get a perfect game in Pac-Man.
Yep.
Who
Well, good
cares?
job. Yeah.
I
Like
mean, at this point, it's like, okay, so what's your point?
and like how many people like the thing that I think that spurns him on is that he does keep getting media coverage over this bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
and partially we're kind of part of the problem right this particular second. But like it's just annoying because it's like who
Well,
cares, man? Go away.
yeah,
Like just go away. You
yeah.
fucking failure white trash Florida piece of crap. I'm
But
not talking to a mirror.
but the thing is though, the reason why he keeps getting more and more media coverage is because it seems like whenever anyone mentions his name,
Billy Mitchell.
he sits there and goes lawsuit. Like
Right.
he's literally almost as bad as Trump as far as threatening lawsuits on people.
it, he's just Billy Mitchell is one of those people who wants to be in the spotlight, but he has not done anything of note. And the
Mhm.
one thing he did do of note in the last couple of years is completely besmirched by these looming dude, this is not a legit high score. This is not like
Yep.
like so he's just trying to like keep in the like public eye. I don't know. So it's like in a weird way, it's fucking sad. Like I don't want to be that guy, but like I kind of do want to be that guy. Like fuck
Right.
you, Billy Mitchell.
Right.
Billy Mitchell, if you're listening, fuck you. Go away. Like we're
It,
done with you
it,
now.
it Blue, as far as him being the first to do a perfect game in Pac-Man, there is the only video proof
Mhm.
is him being interviewed asking, okay, where's the official board from the arcade cabinet that was used? He pulls one out, and it's a Miss Pac-Man board.
Not even a Pac-Man
It's
board.
not even Pac-Man. It's Miss Pac-Man, and you can tell because of how the circuitry and the chips are all laid out. People have brought this up and been like, "That's not even the right board." Um, And it doesn't help that every single time, like his high score in Donkey Kong as well, he
Jake.
he used a MAME emulator, so he's
What?
not even running on official hardware. So it's like, how do we even know you did what you did on official hardware?
Right.
Because
And
that's
yes, it
So
does, Jake. Um, okay. Fuck
yeah,
him. Let's move
yeah.
on.
Move on.
Uh, Not a bad thing. Actually, you know what? Let's go to something nice. It's not even something I particularly care about, but the international happened. The Dota 2 international, the once a year tournament. They have the biggest pot in esports, flat out. End of story. Every year, and every year it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Um, a Moscow-based team won for the first time. An Eastern European country has won since 2011. The team was named was Spirit. And the interesting thing about it, other than the fact that Spirit walked away with $18 million of their own money, they won the international, and a 5-man team
Hmm.
won $18 million. That is insane. That is,
Nice.
you could literally be like, I'm good. But more interestingly than that, this was the part that really kind of blew my mind. Uh, they got a tweet from Vladimir Putin.
Oh God.
Yeah. Well, hey, look,
Mm.
this is not like a,
Yeah.
it is,
Yeah.
we're based in America, but this isn't like a, American podcast. Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
um I would like to read the tweet directly because it's kind of interesting. And of course, like, Russians are really proud people. Like, they just are.
Yeah.
And they have never won an international ever. So that's a big fucking accomplishment.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Very
beating the
true.
world in a game that's that big, like
Mhm.
Dota.
Mhm.
So this is what Putin said. Congratulations on your well-deserved victory at the International 2021, the Dota 2 World Championship. Putin wrote this in a message at the Kremlin.ru via Google Translate. For the first time in history, the Russian team Spirit Club won this prestigious competition. Well done, with an exclamation point. Kind of nice. On the way to the final, you demonstrated outstanding leadership qualities and solidarity, and in the decisive duel, which became a real test of skill and character, you managed to concentrate and seize the initiative from strong opponents in at that most crucial moment. They have proven that in practice of our esportsmen are always goal oriented and capable of conquering any peaks. That's actually pretty cool. Like, if the president of America, like, was to tweet out, hey, an American team won. That's actually kind of cool. Like, weirdly,
Yeah.
this is like the first thing I've ever seen where I wasn't like, Putin, you fucking XKGB lunatic. Like, that's actually a pretty nice message. I
Yeah.
just thought I'd want to bring that up.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I'm kind of wondering. Okay, now that the international's over, the Russian team Spirit they
Spirit.
won. Um, they won $18 million. Yada yada. All that. I'm kind of wondering. How much is very quickly going to disappear of that money?
I mean, that's the org, right?
And
Like, that's up to the org.
well, I'm more wondering how much of that money is very quickly going to disappear into like Putin's personal coffers or some government thing, being like, "Hey, wow, you just got a lot of money? Yeah, yeah, give me money."
Yeah,
So
I don't know. I could do some research into that. I think the bigger point to them, actually, you know, because there's such a nationalistic pride thing, and they're still coming back from a heavy economic problem over,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know um i bet that I bet that those players probably get bank off that, because that shows other Russians other national, like that you can aspire to be these guys, and you know what I'm saying, like put them up on this pedestal. You could aspire to be these guys, you could be this good. I would not be surprised if that's the way it went. But I see where you're coming from on
Yeah.
that.
Because like here in the States, it basically is a thing of, oh, you just got 20 million? Oh, okay. Give us 10 and you'll be fine then. So it's like,
Or whatever tax it breaks out to.
yeah, I mean, it's like 48%, I think, is what it winds up being. But yeah, yeah. I mean, like every time you hear people win, like just a couple of weeks back, someone won $700 million in Powerball. Yeah, guess what? They're only getting like 360 million. Still
Only.
360 million, but
Yeah.
like effectively, oh hey, wow, super high amount of money. Okay, now half of it goes away just because the government sits there and says,
Sure.
"Gimme now, bitch."
But let's also remember that this is USD that they won.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
convert that to ruples, dude. Those guys just
Mhm.
fucking, they're like like, oh, fucking all sevens across the board. That is big
Yeah.
time money.
Now I'm actually kind of curious. Um,
So Jake just said, from a quick search, claiming a share of winnings going into the detail, Glamazda explained that a team would only benefit from around 50% of the prize pool and then be distributed at 20%. So 20% of $18 million. That's still a fuck ton of money. And then again, that's USD, and then convert it to rubles.
well,
Like,
considering converted over to rubles, it's 1.275 billion.
right. I'm just talking about the right, like fuck the number.
Yeah.
It basically means like what is the value of $1 versus 1 ruble? I guess is like that
$1 is 70.87 rubles.
right.
So
So that's pretty good. That's a pretty good bank. Like even
yeah.
if you only get 20% of that, it's like 50 million Canadian even at 20%. Damn. Um, yeah, like yeah, I think that's a pretty good, and there's the fact that literally it went all the way back until 2011 when anyone, and that was Navi in 2011 that won the international. Um, so it's literally been a decade since anyone from the Eastern European bloc has won the international. So that's a huge achievement in
Oh
and of
yeah.
itself.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So congratulations to the Spirit guys. Good for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Um.
Man.
All right. So let's see. You know what? Let's go rag on Blizzard for a little bit here,
Sure.
because I mean that's like a pastime on this talk show here, really. That
Yeah, smarter
that
knows
and
best.
ragging on Twitch.
I mean, it's a go-to. It's funny for jokes.
Yeah, yeah. So they Blizzard recently came out. They, as most people know, re-released Diablo 2 as Diablo 2 Resurrected. Well, let's just put it this way: to fix their servers, dumpster fires look better. That's how bad of a shape their servers are in for Diablo 2 Resurrected. When a dumpster fire looks like an improvement over your current situation, you have a really bad problem. Um, Basically, the long gist of this is they can't just have a central database that everybody connects to. There'd be way too much traffic going to it, and it would just completely seize up. So they have regions. So they have like North America East, North America West, say like European, and yada yada,
Yeah.
things like that. And each of those data centers, then depending on what region you're in, you go to that region, and periodically those regions then report back to the centralized data center.
Yeah.
The problem is that so many people were hitting the regions, and the regions were then having to report back more frequently, that it was just locking up the central data center. And people would be like playing for hours in their region, log out, log back in either next day or something like that, and
Reports hadn't
ca-
been sent.
character might not even be there, and it's like, what the fuck? So,
Um,
yeah,
I went and I did a little research on this. I've been working in online for 10 years. I know the ins and
yeah,
outs. I'm not going to explain the minutia, but
yeah, yeah.
um, really what it is they're just not sending data fast enough from one to the other, from the smaller hubs to the main hub. But also, they shouldn't have to do that. If they were smarter, they would have set them up like nodes as opposed to one central, and then there's also report back. So it's just data going too many places for no good reason. Okay, go ahead.
True, very true. You're correct on that. They should have set it up as nodes, but this is the problem of what they did. They took Diablo 2, which I don't even remember how old of a game it is, and basically put fresh paint on it and said, "Here you go, buy our
Right.
product."
They didn't change the net
They
code.
didn't change the back end of it, and
Yeah.
it's like, okay, you're talking about a game that it was the infants, like barely the infancy of online multiplayer, and
But from a fucking cheap ass bullshit company like fucking Activision Blizzard, doesn't it sound about right? Like this sounds
yeah,
about
oh yeah,
par for the course.
yeah, oh
Like
yeah, yeah.
promise us everything, literally just put a new fucking coat of paint on it, do nothing in the back end, and then go, money please. And then when the money comes in, they go, oh, what? You didn't like what we did? And then they're off like little burglars in the night. They just like they got
Mm-hmm.
their little fat sack like fucking the Hamburglar. They're just like robble, 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 and they just piece the fuck out. Like that, I think, is so indicative of what this company has come to at this point.
Yep.
I'm just not surprised. Like, and no offense to anyone who bought this, who's ever here, who's bought that game. um, sorry, you support a fucking evil corporation. Like, womp womp.
need
Um,
like a soundbite from Nelson from
yeah.
the Simpsons.
What? Because I'm a tall man, I can't get into I can't buy a small car. I guess so. Like that's me. I guess so. Like, yeah. I don't know. It sucks for the players. Again, it sucks for the players. But like, goddamn, dude, it's just like 101 millionth reason to like fuck those guys, dude. Absolutely fuck those
Oh
guys.
yeah, yeah, yep. And apparently, Blue is saying he's seen people play the Alan Wake remaster, and a lot of people are sitting here saying that there is zero difference between the original. And it's like,
I mean, oh wait. I mean, what do you mean? I mean, it's a remaster. What's the only difference? Like,
yeah,
visually, I guess
it was a
it's
cash
supposed to be
grab,
different.
not even in graphics.
Oh, so it doesn't even have the coat of paint.
Yeah,
This is like
yeah, it's
this is
just like,
literally
hey,
selling you
look,
the same house.
you bought this game before, buy it again. It's
You
like,
remember that car you bought when you were 18? Here it is again. Like,
yeah, exactly.
what?
We didn't even fix it up for you. Just buy the same piece of rusted junk.
It's still got your stickers on it. Like, what the fuck? Um,
Uh,
See, this is why again, you got to be careful with your money, people. You got to be careful with your money. Like
mhm.
this, the only thing, like this could be literally the title of our fucking show. Uh,
Be
you know,
careful with your money.
Vote with your dollars, kids. Vote with your dollars, not your
Yeah.
hearts. We all want things to be good in our rose-colored glasses, and they're, oh, this was the best game. Dude, chill out. Wait until the game comes out. Read some reviews, do some fucking research, and then if you're comfortable, buy it.
Hmm.
I like Remedy though. I don't mind giving them a couple bucks, but
Yeah.
I think that one was $40. No.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hell, I want to say within the last year, I went back and replayed Chrono Trigger, and I remember all these great memories from playing that game. And playing it now, I was like, why the fuck is this happening? What the fuck? And like, there's so many times I just had questions on stuff. I'm just like, oh, damn. This was all rose-colored glasses. That's nice. God damn it.
It's honest to God, it's one of the reasons I almost like universally avoid remasters is
Yeah.
because you shouldn't open that bag up.
Well,
Like
well, no, no. This was like the old school SNES cartridge that I went back and
I
replayed.
still
But yeah,
still holds up
yeah,
for what I'm saying.
yeah.
Like
Oh
just
yeah.
remember them fondly and just play new stuff.
Hmm.
Like just play new stuff.
Yep.
If you were really into it,
Cool. If not,
cool. Just be careful what
be
you wish
careful with your
for,
money.
Yeah. Yeah. Um so here's a little fun thing that I would like to talk about. So the Steam Deck. This is the portable Steam system.
Yep.
Um, this is a little interesting. So they put out a video. It was like 2.5 minutes long the other day, and we had been talking about the fact that the Steam library is huge. The Steam Deck is obviously not going to be able to play every single title, especially running at 60 frames or whatever. So get that shit right the fuck out of your mind. Um, but they are doing something kind of interesting that I really appreciate them doing. But I'd like to talk a little bit about it. So when you go into Steam when the deck launches, and or when you have the deck in your hand, there is going to be a little symbol on every single title from now on in Steam, and it's going to be a little green check mark thing, which means it's verified that it can run perfectly fine on the Steam Deck. There's going to be a one that is yellow with an exclamation point, which means it is playable. I don't love that fucking adjective, but that was what they said. Um, and then there is going to be a gray check or a gray X through it, and that is going to be unsupported. Then there's going to be a gray one with like dotted lines around it, and that means it is unknown. Because again, they're going to have to check every single game. That's ridiculous, right? Like checking every single game in the Steam's library is going to take them a long time. But yep, go ahead. I'm going to finish this thought real quick.
Yeah, go.
Um, so, when you go to Steam shortly, or when you are on your Steam Deck, you're going to be able to find out if it is verified, which means you can play it. Playable. This is the interesting one that I want to talk more about. Uh, what it says in the description, 2-minute video. If you're interested, go look it up. Um, that there's going to have to be something about the game that you, as the player with the Steam Deck, are going to have to modify to be able to get it to run. One of the examples they gave there was a virtual keyboard. That was the one example that they gave, right? So if a game requires you to enter a name for your player, so I was going to enter Cool Von Rad, but there's no keyboard on the deck. There's going to be a virtual keyboard. That's the way you're going to have to enter it. Okay. Still seems like there's a lot of wiggle room you're leaving there, but okay.
Yeah.
Uh, okay. The unsupported, sure, it just doesn't work. I'm imagining big, beautiful games. Okay, that makes sense. And then the unknown one, which is the other one that bums me out because the Steam library is so fucking big. How are they going to check? We talked about this earlier because it is running on the Photon OS because it needs its own OS system. So they said they got what 6,000 games already verified. That's
Yeah.
6,000 games out of the entire Steam library.
Hmm.
Uh, that's going to take a long fucking time. You're going to see so many of those unverified for a while. Like,
Oh
let's
god,
just
yeah.
say,
Yeah.
you know. Um, okay, what were you going to say?
Um, two things actually. One, as far as the icons that show up, the green one, fine. The yellow one, okay. The not supported, a gray X.
Yeah,
I would think a red X would be a little bit more eye catching.
sure,
And then like the unknown, you would think they would go with like a gray question mark.
sure.
I mean, because it's unknown, we don't know. But then also, okay, 6,000 games they've already tested. So are we talking like American Truck Driver Simulator 2021 and then American Truck Driver Simulator 2021? Oh, the DLC for like the northwestern part of the US, and here's the DLC for the southeastern, and like, because those are all different titles technically. And it's like, are those counting as individual different titles, or are they
It,
just counting those as the DLCs for the one major title?
the from what the video looked like, it looked like the actual original SKU is the
Okay.
thing that's gonna have. So the DLCs they didn't even mention. They
Okay.
literally didn't mention it. But my again, my imagination says that if the SKU works in whatever form that they say,
Yeah.
that the DLC would run the same.
One would
Because
hope.
it's right. Well, I mean, it's rare that a DLC is like prettier to the point where it's like, oh, this won't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
The odds of the DLC breaking something. Yeah.
right. Right, it kinda slim. But again, the good thing is with Steam, at least we have user tags and reviews, like,
Hmm.
okay, like, um, the other thing that's kinda cool, they showed a picture of when you were in, the Steam store on the deck, and each individual thumbnail, so it was like, okay, here's Back for Blood, and here's fucking Truck Simulator or whatever, in the corner of the thumbnail, they even had the icons, but
Okay.
they won't have that on the normal Steam store, Steam page store.
Okay.
But I mean, I guess because it comes when you boot it up, the first tab that it goes to is Works Fire on the deck, and then you can go over one tab, like left tab over or whatever,
Yeah.
and then it'll be the entire Steam store.
Okay. Interesting.
It's at least a start, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you said though, verifying everything that they've got in their library in Steam's library is
Gonna take a little bit.
yeah. Honestly, I have a feeling we'll see the fall of the Steam Deck well before we see everything being at least tested to be known whether it's either verified playable, unplayable, things like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And honestly, like I can't imagine, like I can't even imagine a point. Like, let's say the Steam Deck does fucking gangbusters, dude. How many titles are on Steam at this point? It's got to be millions.
Oh god,
Like,
I don't even want
I like they could be doing that, and that's not counting every single day the new titles are dropping.
it. Hmm.
There's just no way, like, that's Sisyphus and the Rock, trying to push it up the hill,
Yep.
like, and then boom, gotta push it up again. Like, it's impossible.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, I just thought that was interesting. So
Yeah. Yeah.
again, if you're interested in the Steam Deck, watch that video, check it out, see what you think. Don't pre-order it yet, boys
Yeah.
and girls.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
Especially,
says, knowing that people will.
especially considering the simple fact of it's like, hey, look, there's also a dock for it. We don't have a price point yet on it yet, so buy it.
Yeah,
Much like the Intellivision Amico.
right.
That thing's a nice joke.
Or my Switch, which is broken now. Ugh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And it was the dock too, by the way.
Well, at least it's only the dock and not like the entire system.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I see your point though. All right, so how about we go with a hooray in a good way, but also kind of weird too.
Okay.
Ever since Blizzard has been doing a whole bunch of naughty things, we'll just leave it at that. A lot of people have been bailing on World of Warcraft. Kind of obvious there. Asmongold, who usually streams to like 70 plus thousand people, he bailed, and a lot of his community bailed as well.
Yeah.
They went to Final Fantasy 14. A lot of them did. And the cool thing is Final Fantasy 14 has now surpassed World of Warcraft for most popular MMO. Here's the kicker. The game director wants people to stop freaking out that it's the giant killer. It dethroned WoW. It's the best out there. It's a game. People play games. If they get burnt out, they take a break, play something else. They may come back. They may leave again. It's a whole cycle of playing games. He effectively says this is why games, specifically MMOs, have a whole bunch of content releases over courses of multiple expansions. Because if they just drop all the content immediately, people will chew through that in weeks, if not a month, and then just be like, okay, when's the next expansion coming? I'm tired. Um, so it's interesting to see how he's happy for the popularity that has grown in Final Fantasy 14, but he's also sitting here sending a message out to people that's saying, "Hey, don't label Final Fantasy 14 as the giant killer, as the WoW Slayer, blah blah blah. Don't do that. If people are just taking a break from WoW and decide to check out something else and want to come back to WoW, fine. We don't care. We're just making a game that we're very passionate about. We love the simple fact that everybody else is enjoying it. And if it's as successful as it is, then cool. If it's not, that's fine. As long as the few that are enjoying it also enjoy uh, taking breaks or anything like that, then fine, whatever."
I think there's a core fundamental difference though in the thought process of how both those companies deal out DLC.
Mhm.
Um, Blizzard is still very old school. They wait and they wait and they wait and then they drop one big chunk and that's what they do.
Yeah.
Whereas Final Fantasy 14 is very okay. Here's a year. We already have a roadmap, and there's going to be several events that are going to be
Mhm.
doled out slowly throughout it,
Yep.
including story and non-story stuff.
Yep.
Um, and I think that that's the bigger point, and I think that's the reason why um, a lot of people see that,
Mhm.
and it's like, well, I don't have to wait 2 fucking years for an expansion. I can just fucking play some 14 and then get in on some fun new shit. Oh, there's a new raid. Oh, there's a new story bit, whatever. And then if I don't want to keep going, cool. I think the other reason that he's saying that too is like, don't dumpster like your competition for no reason.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
like don't send out a tweet being like, "Hey, wow, y'all good." Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that's
Yeah.
just fucking rude,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
from a Japanese over.
Yeah.
I can't see that happening. Um, but like, you know, it's not about like a giant killer thing, because it's not WoW in 2012 or whatever. This is years in the making, and this has literally all been Activision Blizzard's own fucking doing.
Yep.
This is, the people just didn't have another valid option really at this point.
Mhm.
And now they fucking finally do. Like one where it's like, I don't know. It's very nice of him and very Japanese to
Yeah.
be like,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
hey, don't dog our competition. It's like, yeah, okay, well, you don't have to, but like, you kind of see why a bunch of people would.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
um, yeah, that is definitely my
Because
assumption.
like you mentioned, they do plan out a series of releases of content updates. Um, the going cycle for Final Fantasy 14 at the moment, whenever they release a major expansion update, so like
Mhm.
the next one coming up is Endwalker,
Mhm.
which will be releasing November 22nd. Last I knew. Um, Basically, that you will have the first major storyline of that expansion with that launch. Uh, Shortly after that, there'll be a 8-man raid that will
Mhm.
launch. Within, I want to say, 2 months, 2 to 3 months after that, there'll be a 24-man raid, possibly
Holy shit.
also, yeah, possibly also the part two of the major storyline. And there's also side quests throughout all of this too.
Sure. Sure.
Um, then after the 24-man raid, there'll be the next step of the 8-man raid, the next 24-man raid, the final 8-man raid, and the final 24-man raid. On top of that, they have year-round seasonal events going on
Right.
as well. So and those are huge because it's like, oh hey, for this seasonal event only, you can get this new like
It's like they
whatever.
took it's like they took the model from, let's call it, Western development, Destiny,
Mhm,
fucking Ubisoft shit. Like they just kind of were like, oh, let's adopt this because it's just smarter and it's easier on your company and your workers too, right? Like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? If you're not just slamming and trying to get to basically what is a brand new alpha and then into beta and then launch,
Mhm,
it's just okay, little tiny chunks, little tiny chunks, little tiny chunks.
yep.
And that's what keeps a player base is constant shit nowadays, because that evergreen model is what players have come to expect
Mhm.
nowadays, which, for better or for worse. Um,
And speaking of working on little tiny chunks all throughout, do you remember the tsunami that hit the Fukushima nuclear power plant?
2011.
Yeah. The content update that was supposed to release for Final Fantasy 14 at that point was the Leviathan primal fight.
Oof,
Yeah.
oof.
Yeah.
talk about talk about awkwardly timed.
Yeah.
Like,
They immediately were like, pump the
nope.
brakes. We'll release the Moogle fight instead.
Right.
And it's like,
That'd
okay,
be
cool.
like
Good
an
call.
American studio being like, "Oh, do you remember like fucking, 2001 we were going to have like one where it's like a bunch of towers explode." And they were like, "Yeah, maybe we don't do that right now." It's just
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, that's not the
Yeah.
play."
Yeah. So, I mean,
Yeah, that's a good call.
that's why, like, having these little tiny chunks that you're working on
Nice.
frequently is
Yeah.
a lot better because you can react to things in the real world and then be
Right.
like, oh, hey, that might not be a bad thing to do or not be a good thing to do at the moment. Let's do this
Right.
instead.
Right. Because
So,
what if it was an entire, 2 years worth of work, and then the shareholders are like, gotta drop this.
yeah,
Like, and then it just ends up being really shittily timed. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely not the play.
yeah.
Um, you know what? I don't even want to do it. I don't even want to do it.
Oh,
Oh, here. Do you want to talk about like a small one real quick?
sure.
Okay. Um, so Nintendo dropped their pricing
Hmm.
for what is going to happen with the Switch and their Nintendo Online.
Yep.
If you guys didn't know, Nintendo Online services used to be $25 a month, still is, or $25 a year, still is. But with this new N64, which they're calling expansion plus expansion pack, which is kind of cute.
Yeah.
Um, but uh doubled the price to
Hmm.
play N64 games, the limited selection of whatever they choose. Dude,
Oh,
that
I know.
is fucking egregious, bro.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
think we had talked about this. I think I had said like maybe I'd pay $10 more a year. Like,
Yep.
so maybe. And then on top of that, they also dropped that the cool ass, they are nice ass looking N64 controllers. Um, $50. $50. God bless America. That's how much they were originally when I owned a 64 and I was playing fucking Goldeneye. Are you kidding me with that price? Like, god damn, dude.
Yep.
Uh, and $80 if you want to do a family plan now, as opposed to the 60 before. So they're clearly like trying to get more family plan members, but like, God bless, dude. Like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
That seems crazy to me. That
Yeah.
seems crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
Now, I will also say this though: if you do get it, you do also wind up getting the Animal Crossing: New Horizons Happy Home Paradise DLC. Which, okay, if you're into the Animal Crossing, then okay, cool, it's good for you. If you're not, then you have this extra DLC that is gonna just sit on your virtual shelf and do nothing.
right, right.
Glad your N64 still works. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Totally get that
right.
there. Change it.
And honestly, like, I I don't know. With all the licensing things that have gone on, I can't imagine that titles like GoldenEye are going to end up being, online capable, and I don't know. I feel like if you were going to announce this, you should have announced this with a list of, let's call it 5 to 10, probably leaning towards 10 games, and you were going to be like, here's the first fucking big drop. This is what we were thinking. These are all online capable now. Like, that might have softened the blow. I just like, that is crazy town to me. But
Yeah.
and you're right. Like, what if you're not into fucking Animal Crossing?
Yep. Uh,
Well, fucking thanks.
yeah. Now, having said that, as far as like drop a list of games as well, it is going to start with 9 N64 games.
Yeah, but there's no list of those 9, right?
Yeah, there is.
Oh, there is.
Yes.
Okay.
Dr. Mario 64, Mario Kart 64, Mario
Mm.
Tennis, Sin and Punishment? I've never even heard of that one. Like, did someone get too much into BDSM or something there? I mean, I don't know. Star Fox 64. Okay. Super Mario 64. Not surprised there. Ocarina of Time. Win Back Covert Operations.
Classic. I mean, that's a classic. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was a silly name. What was I thinking? Yoshi's Story. Those are the 9 for the N64.
So literally, basically, like 3 that we knew were a guarantee.
Yeah.
And
And
for the
filler
rest.
for the rest. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
And then also don't forget there's also the Sega Genesis.
Win back equals N64 trying to compete with Metal Gear. Is what I just got out of my chat.
Nice. But apparently there's also a Sega Genesis Virtual Console that's going to be on this as well, which I just find a little funny, but whatever.
Well, I mean, those days are long gone. You only think that because
true.
you're a gray-haired old man.
But the list of games that are on that are going to be Sonic 2, Streets of Rage 2, Echo the Dolphin, Castlevania Bloodlines.
Ooh, I do like Bloodlines.
The Castlevania bundle that just released on Steam has that in it, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it does.
So,
still, I do like that game.
Yeah. Golden Axe, kind of one of the iconic Sega Genesis games.
Literally, that was a launch title.
Yeah,
that was a launch title.
Yeah. Strider, the Sega Genesis version, not the NES version. So it's a bit different. Contra Hardcore, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, and Gunstar Heroes.
Gunstar Heroes is good.
Yeah. So, I mean...
It's actually a better lineup, frankly.
Yes, it is.
That's fucked up. That's actually a little bit of a better lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's funny. Wow, that's funny.
So...
Well, I mean... I don't know.
Animal Crossing is great until they add a billion things and make it unmanageable.
I mean, isn't that like...
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Like... Isn't
that the goal of it, though?
Yeah, it's to be infinite. Like, at least we're at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is they're not getting my money right now.
Like, yeah. Honestly, it'd be nice to actually play Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, things like those.
No, I'm done. I'm done. I am that guy. I'm done.
Well,
moving on.
Okay. Like, you've played them before, right? You've played them before.
Millions of times.
Yeah, I haven't. I haven't played either one of them. Really? My first 3D Mario has been Super Mario Odyssey.
That is crazy. Okay, well, you are definitely on the outside of that. Yes. Most people have played those games ad nauseum since they launched. On so many different fucking consoles. Like, that's all Nintendo does. They make one new title per thing each generation, and then they resell you everything going all the way.
Yep. Which admittedly, I also kind of find it a little funny considering they have the Super Mario 3D All-Stars game on the Wii.
Yeah.
Which is Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy. So it's like you're kind
Yeah,
of shooting yourself in the foot there,
they're not,
Nintendo.
because fucking
Oh yeah,
Nintendo kids
oh
will
yeah,
just keep going, "Nice, new edition, new way to play it. I can keep playing the
yeah,
same fucking game over and over and over again." I'm just not that person. Like,
yeah,
I know that there are. I know that there are people that do that. And that's okay too. If like that's where like I just am not that dude.
yeah.
I like give me fucking Metroid Dread. It's a
Hmm.
new Metroid game.
Oh
Awesome.
hell yeah,
Let's go.
hell
Like,
yeah,
like that's top.
yeah.
Like, but I'm done playing these fucking old ass games that literally I was playing when I was in high school. FYI, that was a very, very, very long time ago.
Hmm.
Like, so
Yep.
I don't know. All right, well, you go.
All right.
Stop bagging on Nintendo. No, actually, we just bag on everybody. Who cares? Fucking fuck
Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah. Basically, we do. Okay. How about another quick one here?
Sure.
Elden Ring,
Mm.
FromSoft's new open world Dark Souls kind of game. Hope you weren't hoping to get it when it comes out in January, because
Yep.
it's going to be delayed.
Yep. The 25th of February now.
Yep.
You know what though? I will tell you this. I am a huge proponent of, if it isn't ready, just wait.
Yes. Yeah.
If it's not, I would much, and especially with a company that has such a prestige at this point. Could you imagine if they released basically Bloodborne and it was broken and terrible? You know what I'm saying? At this point, you have now all the Souls games and the remaster of Demon,
Hmm.
and then you make a new one and it's broken and like buggy. No, that's not the play.
Yep.
That's not big dick energy.
Yep.
So good for them
Hmm.
for doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only a month. It's
Yeah.
just bug cleanup at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, as far as it being another month delay, I don't care.
It's bug
Um,
cleanup, dude. That's what that is.
Now, if it were to be a thing of okay, they do a month delay and then a month delay, a month delay, a month delay, for like a whole year straight, then it's like okay, guys,
Cyberpunk.
yeah,
Cyberpunk.
yeah, exactly. That's where I was going with that one. So it's
Like,
like
and
okay,
then still drop a fucking turd. Like,
yeah,
and then
that
six
was
months
bad.
later, they're like, "Hey, the turd is better." Like, that was your tweet. The turd is better. It's in a playable state. Ew.
It's
That's
still a
ew, paper.
turd. No matter
Yeah.
matter how much you polish a turd and put it on a silver platter, I'm not going to play with it.
Hmm.
It's a turd.
A hot turd or a cold turd, still a piece of shit. Yeah, and again, I get that. To be, for me, take your time, boys.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not a pressure person.
yep,
So good on you.
yeah.
It does suck because I know that like millions of people are like ravenous like for anything they do. Look at Sekiro. Wasn't even like it
Mm,
wasn't nearly as well received as the other Souls likes that they've done, and still came out at least good, not buggy.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, open world too, dude.
Hmm.
You worked in the video game industry. You worked on a title that was open world.
Hmm.
How many bugs do you find in open world shit?
Oh god, yeah, yeah.
Look at fucking Bethesda, those poor bastards. Every time a new one comes out, it's like, ooh. Speaking
Can,
of which, did you? This isn't even on my sheet, but did you see that article? So that Skyrim, whatever new Ultimate Edition. Okay. Well, some people just want to keep playing. That's how you fucking do. Oh my god. So whatever, like, but so the new one comes out, and one of the biggest modders of Skyrim said that, guess what? This is gonna fuck up all of our mods. So that's not a great look, but it makes a lot of sense because mods, especially mods to a game that have been a very long time, they're touching a bunch of shit there. They're touching
mhm.
core code at that point. So that means your mod may not work the
Yep.
same. But I guess it'll give you guys something else to do. Go ahead and mod this one then. Fucking lunatics.
Blue's sitting there saying, "Can Alex do that again?"
Only if you stop by more, Blue. That's it.
You heard him. You need to stop by more. uh, I'm guessing
Yeah.
Blue is immediately going to jump over into your channel and say hi or something.
He stops by a lot, actually, to be frank.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, okay, so is it me, right?
yeah.
Okay. So speaking about core
Oh
stuff,
no.
let's talk core anti-cheat technology.
Okay.
We haven't talked about this in a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, saw a really interesting article with the head of Valorant's communication, his outward communication team. Turns out Valorant's Vanguard technology, its technology, seems to be working really, really well. Before Valorant even dropped, they said that their anti cheat would be better than any anti cheat that had come prior. Uh, uh, so looking to now, they are at the least amount of cheaters that they've ever had, which is fantastic, right?
Hmm.
That's but here's the little caveat that comes with this Vanguard anti-cheat technology for Valorant. Um, it is a core kernel in your PC. So the yes. Now see your face right there? Most fucking PC people do not want to hear that.
No.
But fact of the matter is, Valorant at this point is at the lowest cheating they have ever seen before, and it's because of the fact that Vanguard is a kernel level of so it goes into your OS like the deepest
Mm-hmm.
the prostate of your PC. That's where this Vanguard lives.
Yeah.
Now, when before it even launched, it did people did that. They were like, "Oh, fucking Jesus Christ, this is so like ridiculous." It's almost like intrusive, right? Like, because that's what it is. Like,
Yeah.
but if it's company, okay, I'll get back to that. Anyways, um, this is clearly working though because they have the lowest cheaters they've ever seen, and COD Warzone just launched a new update that now is also using kernel level of anti cheat. So it is checking everything, all the way from the base, all the way up to look for anti cheats. The
Interesting.
Warzone people are actually really excited about it because Warzone had such a rampant cheating problem that they're just excited to have less cheaters. Alex Quino, this guy sitting right here, I think that there is a level where we have to accept some amount of loss of, wow, this is going to sound really right wing, and it's really not, but there is some loss of privacy that we have to have, and some trust that we have to have in these companies to make an anti cheat that will affect real change. I'm also a Rainbow Six player. Rainbow Six has rampant cheating. I mean, rampant. I would go back to Rainbow Six if we got a new system that was at a kernel level, that was at a core level of my PC. I know it sucks, but okay, stop looking at weird porn, weirdos, or don't. Who cares? What are they gonna do? Like, like call the cops? Nah, they're not doing shit. Um, Let them join my weird hentai porn. What do I care? Um, I think that like there is a point where we have to accept this as almost an inevitable, especially on PC. It is very, very easy to not have cheaters on a console because of that. And you know why? It's always doing those kernel checks all the way through.
Mhm.
That's why they're built that way. Um, except for keyboard and mouse. And if you're out there, you fucking dirtbag. Sorry, ooh, man, that came from the inside. I think that I think it's a good thing. And I hope that more games start implementing this level. You should always ask the player, and they companies who implement this level of anti-cheat that goes in this kernel level, you should literally say even before you purchase, like just FYI, if you purchase this, we use an in-house anti-cheat system that literally goes to the deepest part of your fucking OS and checks all the way up.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I totally agree with you on a lot of that because there have been times I've seen cheaters in games that have things like Battle Eye and whatnot, and they're just like flaunting in the face of their anti cheat systems, and it's just like, what the hell? We have this person literally streaming themselves cheating, and they're
Right.
just completely getting away with it. And it's like, can we get someone in here to get this fixed, please?
And I think that as players, PC players, as
Mm-hmm.
PC players, we are going to have to be more okay with whatever, dude. You got to check my whole PC to make sure I'm not cheating. As long as I don't have to get matched up against cheaters
Yeah.
with whatever cheats.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do it. Who cares? Like, high fives all around, whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Because fucking cheating is so bad that R6 is unplayable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like, come on, man. Like, so we're just gonna have to like go, yeah. And if Valorant is at that low level of cheaters, I wasn't even thinking about playing Valorant, but when I read that article, I was like, might want to check out a little bit of Valorant. I mean, I might not do it for long, but like, I want to check it out. I'd like to see the community. Because if there's no cheating, that means it's literally skill. Like that's what I always want in
Yeah.
competitive games,
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I don't know. So if you haven't checked out Valorant and you hate fucking cheaters, maybe you want to check out Valorant. Just putting it out there. Apparently that Vanguard. And if you are a COD player and you were a little hesitant, because I know over the last couple of months with Warzone, they've had a big problem. Warzone just instituted a brand new system that does go to your kernel in your PC, and they have seen a market drop as well. So, you know,
Or if you were a COD player and have been following all the Blizzard stuff and don't want to go back to playing COD, that's fine too.
also fine.
Anti cheat rootkit technology. Also, want to just say shout out to Richie Munster for that raid. Thank you very much, man.
Hey, thank you very much for the raid. I'm gonna double up on that. And I'm gonna say to our RK Design, yes, I miss yelling in your living room digitally every weekend as well. All right, here you go.
All right. So, I got a couple of small ones here, and then a couple of double ups.
Couple of
Uh,
juicy ones.
yeah, yeah. So, um, let's go with this one. It's Blue Box Studio. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, they're
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 getting fucking raked over the coals for this, and it's bullshit.
yeah, they really are.
I'll do it. You want me to do it?
It's a
I'm gonna
lot of
do it.
people.
Do you want me to do it? Because I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna be a little savage about it.
Go
Here's
for
what
it.
it is.
Actually, yeah, I want to see
Okay.
this.
All right. So Blue Box had a tweet that went out a couple of weeks ago now that said, guess the name uh, abandoned equal and then first letter S, last letter L. And people on Twitter saw this, and the first thing they thought of, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Abandoned, first letter S, last letter L. Because I actually saw this tweet and I thought the same thing.
Uh,
Silent Hill
uh
is the answer.
see, that's the thing is that could be the first, but it's also a thing of okay, did they was it literally just first letter S, last letter L, or did they like
Yes.
have blanks in there too?
Nope. It just literally said in parentheses, first letter S, last L. That's
Okay,
what it in parentheses.
okay,
So,
so yeah,
and by the way, that tweet is now deleted.
yeah.
Um, so everyone who saw this thought instantaneously, Silent Hill, fucking Blue Box Entertainment, and is making the new Silent Hill, and this is gonna happen, and so they are losing their fucking minds. And weirdly, coincidentally, at the same time, Hideo Kojima had put out a set of tweets where the word silent and the word hill had been in it. So like people drew this weird correlation that like Blue Box and Kojima had some sort of thing going on where, because of PT back in the day when, which was supposed to be the new Silent Hills. Um, so everyone flips out. Then uh, they find out, and Blue Box, to their credit, were like, no, 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 this was a miscommunication. I think you guys kind of took this wrong. Proceeded to get like fucking death threats.
Not just email ones too, both like email and physical like snail mail. So
Right, snail mail. That's even like weirdly more dangerous too.
yeah, exactly. But I mean, they're getting these death threats, and they're now officially being like, hey guys, can you please stop, stop the death threats? Seriously, uh, things weren't communicated correctly, and yeah, just stop all the damn death threats. Half-Life 3. I mean,
Well, and the funny thing is, the game that they're working on, that Blue Box is working on, is named Abandoned.
mhm,
It just happened to be a bunch of coincidences all lined up. It
yep.
had nothing to do with anything. And then they're getting fucking death threats. Jesus Christ, internet, if you're out there, chill out, bruv. Like, good lord. We all
Yeah,
want Silent Hill. We all want a new Silent Hill, but don't send fucking death threats, you bunch of lunatics. Like,
especially to the company that you're thinking is making it, because if they're making it and you kill them all, then it's like, okay, guess what? You're not gonna get it because you killed them all.
yeah. And the funny thing is, I saw in their like in Blue Box's most recent tweet, they were like, "Oh, we all know you want abandoned," was like the first part of it. And I was like, I don't. Does Blue Box understand what's going on here too? I think
Yeah,
like whoever's running their PR might not quite understand. Like nobody was like, "Oh, where's abandoned? We'll kill you all." Like it was like this is about Silent Hill, man. Nobody was even. I haven't even seen a fucking screenshot for that game.
yep,
Like
yep.
I don't think that had anything to do with that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, super fucked up though. Like, and seriously, motherfuckers need to relax. Also, get a fucking hobby. Like, learn to knit. Fucking play Magic. I don't give a shit. Like, fucking, good God,
Yeah, just a little ridiculous, that's for certain.
super insane. Super insane. And again, I will say though, if you look at all the coincidences, it is a weirdly coincidental
Yeah,
bunch of things.
just weird how everything lined up all
Yeah,
just right. Yeah,
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 like yeah, and I know that the internet loves ARs and like all that shit, like
yeah.
augmented reality stuff, but like this was not one of those things.
No,
This
no.
was literally just two separate things from two separate people working on two separate projects that just if you squint and you tilt your head, oh, that does look like Silent Hill's coming out.
Yeah,
Guess I'm gonna have to write some death threats. Um,
yeah.
that wasn't good, right?
No,
Yeah. Um, I think they meant we know you want to be abandoned.
no.
That's weirdly funny.
Yeah.
All right. You do one. I'm going to take a slash real quick.
Okay. Um. Well, another interesting bit of kind of good news is Microsoft has always had a tough time breaking into the Japanese market as far as with consoles. Um, the original Xbox and the Xbox 360 did okay. The Xbox One just absolutely tanked, to the point where as of September, I believe it was, has finally sold 100,000 units. Yeah, yeah, that's kind of depressing, to be honest. Um, but now, whereas things like the PlayStation 5 to date has sold 1.1 million units. So, needless to say, PlayStation is definitely a lot more popular in Japan, than Microsoft, than the Xbox brand in general. But the good news is, as of October 10th, the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S, so the latest gen consoles, they have they are now the most popular selling Xbox console in Japan. They have broken the 100,000 uh, units sold mark. So that is absolutely great for them. It's not even a tenth of what PlayStation 5 has sold, but for Xbox, in selling Xboxes in Japan, the simple fact that they're up to 100,000 units sold, and which is also more than any previous Xbox to date. Cool, great, awesome, good for them. It's unfortunately not even a tenth of PlayStation 5, but
Hey man,
they're getting there. They're getting there.
yeah,
This is,
I
yeah,
mean,
I mean,
it's nice. It's nice to have that reaching market, right?
yeah, exactly.
Like,
Um,
so
and to date, the Series X and Series S are the most popular of all the Xbox consoles in Japan too, which is nice.
nice,
So
sure.
they're
Um,
getting better at getting out there in Japan, but it's still very tough to break into that market for them.
um, so speaking of Japanese markets, um, did you see what happened with D brand and those dark plates?
Oh, wait, I saw the article. I didn't read it though.
Okay. So, PlayStation 5s, let's talk about the way that PlayStation 5 looks. Looks like a white, I don't know, fucking router that goes this way, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, this company called D Brand um, wanted to make outer shells that you could clip on,
Hmm.
so you could customize it.
Yeah,
Basically, like a faceplate on a 360 kind of a thing.
yeah.
Um, for whatever fucking reason, they decided to like taunt Sony, and they were like, "Whatever, dude. What are you gonna do?" Yeah. So Sony just hit him with a cease and desist. Um, so now when you go to D brand and you go to their fucking website, it literally takes you to a dead link that like loops you back around into like the original homepage. But this was the part that I like really wanted to like say like was really funny. So whoever the fuck it was from D brand went on to Reddit and posted this. Much like your hopes and dreams, the dark plate is dead. What? Who fucking does that? That's insanely fucking dark. It's so funny. Like, so you taunt Sony. Sony hits you with a cease and desist, and then you go on to Reddit of all fucking places, and then go, just like you, the average reader of this, your hopes and dreams also dead. You're not getting these. Good lord. Um,
God.
I found that to be really fun. Um, uh, wouldn't let me comment that in Granix's chat. A black box in Japanese culture is a symbol of death slash funerals, something along those lines. So people heavily avoided having Xboxes in their homes. What, like they're gonna have like tiny squirrel deaths or something? Those things are only like this big. Like, um, uh, yeah, I just thought that was really funny. Like, okay, if you're making like ostensibly a third party product that is not an official product,
Mhm.
maybe don't go out of your way to be like
Yeah, exactly.
to the
Exactly.
guy who's making the product, and then go on to Reddit and be like, you know what, fuck all of you do, just like your hopes and dreams. God damn. All right.
Um, it was D brand, correct? Was the
Yes, the letter D and then
Yeah.
brand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm on their website looking at the shop special edition slash
Hmm.
PS5, and looking at the ad of it. Oh my god, it's actually really kind of creepy when you look into it a little bit,
Okay.
because it shows a PS5
Hmm.
white shell, fine,
Yep.
and then like the only instruction on the page: scroll to explore, and like an arrow pointing down. So I start scrolling down, and like these tendrils start coming up over the white, and it's like, dude,
Cool.
with all some of the horror movies coming out of Japan, as far as um uh like The Grudge and The Ring and things like that, it's like, dude, that might not be the way to look at it and like be advertising this.
Well, it's also October though. That could be a temporary thing.
Yeah, but still, dude. I mean, that I wouldn't necessarily be like, hey, look, we're gonna like make your PS5 evil. Ha ha ha.
Oh, well, there's 13-year-old
Try,
boys out there who are gonna be like, oh,
yeah.
badass. I find that to be ridiculously funny because I have an unlicensed faceplate for my 360 still. Um, it's the I bought an entire set that was the Gen 1 Transformers.
Hmm.
And you know, I leave Starscream on there because come on. But that is a market where if you don't flip off the person who you're making money from, you could actually make some money. So I'm pretty sure those guys probably didn't go, fuck you, Microsoft. We're making faceplates. Um,
Part of their whole ad on here is avoiding lawsuits.
oh my God. Now that is fucking actually irony. That is actually irony.
Here, I'm just gonna send you the link for this. Because that's actually kind of funny.
That's fucking hilarious, honestly.
There, if you just scroll down far
Yes,
enough.
dude.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, why don't you go?
Alrighty.
That is really fucking funny.
Yeah. Alrighty. Minecraft. You know that game that punch wood?
Yo.
Yep. They had their Minecraft Live their Minecon thing, and they announced the next update. Get excited for Mud and Frogs.
That frog did look cute.
Yeah, the frog did look cute, especially when it ribbits, because it's like
Yeah.
the whole neck ribbit. It's like, dude, that's fucking cool. What's
Yeah.
Minecraft? Oh, shut up, Savage.
It's a small indie game, dude. You probably never heard of it.
Yeah, yeah. But like, I looking at it and looking back at the history of Minecraft, and then realizing, okay, to make mud, it's dirt and water.
Mhm.
Why did it take until now to
I
get
mean,
mud?
come on. Like, because they had to do 65 bajillion other things.
True, true. Speaking of 65 bajillion other things, though, I will say this, though. They still haven't released the other half of the Caves and Caverns.
Isn't it supposed to be December?
Yeah, like end of this year, early next year, something like that.
Did they mention when the update was coming?
I didn't see a specific
Because I didn't
update on
either.
that.
Which is weird because if you're gonna hold like an online con, you'd think that would be like a
Oh no,
big.
it wasn't online. It was in person.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
Ballsy.
So yeah, especially right now, that was very ballsy of
Right.
them. But yeah, I mean, the cool thing I will say though with the mud is it's not just, oh hey, we have mud now, yay, get hyped for that. It's okay, we have mud. If you put it out in the sun and just let it dry, it becomes clay. From there, um, you can obviously make it into bricks. You can also, as it is mud, add in they said sand and wheat to transform it into something else. I think it was go straight to the clay bricks at that point.
Oh nice. So you can cut out that middle step.
Yeah,
Cool.
and I mean it's really cool as far as okay, they're kind of
Oh.
thinking a little bit ahead as far as what they can do with it. Also, the other thing that I found really cool with the frogs trailer that they released, if you look carefully when it's just a whole bunch of them hopping around in the swamp, one of them jumps on it's like a drip leaf, I think is what it's called. It lands on a drip leaf, and the leaf immediately like bends and it
Folded?
falls off.
Oh, cool.
So it's like that's actually freaking
Physics.
cool. Yes, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. Direct contact with this.
Yeah.
What up? What's going on, Carefree Mom? Um, yeah, I wasn't blown away by everything there. I really wanted a date for when the caverns update was going to be completed, but hey, whatever, cool. That frog does look fucking cute.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, so whatever.
Um, it's also going to be a thing where they're going to redo the swamp biomes. So
Well, yeah, that kind of makes sense
yeah, I
because
mean,
they kind of have to.
yeah,
Um, Jake is saying also Minecraft is coming to PC Game Pass. I don't know why that took so fucking long. Thank you for that. So another reason if you got a Game Pass, you don't want to like yeah, you don't have Minecraft yet, you get that. Um, and the Bedrock and Java editions, which is cool. What?
Savage says, "Does the frogs, if there are like three frogs, do they sit there and go, Bud, wise,
Okay, so the three of us are the only people who are old enough to even get that fucking joke.
pretty much." Although it would be hilarious to have like three frogs just sitting there and have them do that. That would be fucking
Yep.
awesome.
That would be funny.
Um,
If they were still making money, fuck yeah.
yeah. Also, as far as RK9, as far as why you weren't able to comment in my channel, it's because I have things set up to prevent just people to come in and spout all sorts of garbage. It's one of the things that Twitch enabled viewers to be able to do as a security kind of thing.
She has to follow.
If you follow, I think it's a minimum of like 10 minutes. You have to
Oh,
be a
okay.
follower for first,
Okay.
something like that.
Perfect.
So yeah,
There you go. There's the answer. Um, the fact they were getting the Java edition is cool since that's where all the modding community. That's yeah, that's sure.
yeah.
That is sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is cool. Actually, I didn't even think of that. Good stuff. Um, I just saw somebody leave my chat. Pretty sure that's gonna be fucking RK. She's like, and dipping out, gonna go hang out for 10 minutes, and boom, putting that shit right on your channel. Um, yeah, I like that. I like that the way that we have this stream set up because people pop back and forth to both of our channels and
Yeah.
like talk to like it's fun. It feels like an audience that like can talk to each one of us individually. It's really nice.
Yep.
Um, let's just toot our own fucking horns. Also, I look good today. My hair's been fucking really banging lately. Um,
And yet you're wearing a hat,
yeah, I know. It's because
but it
it's
is a
been long
cute
enough.
hat. It
Yeah,
is a very
thank you.
cute hat.
Thank you. Got the Maja and Boo symbol on the side. Bam! Fucking
Yep.
love to see it. Yeah.
And it's a
Uh,
little hard to tell in the background color scheme, but it is pink, which is
it is fucking pink. Yeah, it is awesome. Actually, this fucking cool ass fucking cat at the 7-Eleven. He's new. Walk in, fucking hanging out, and get my shit. Fucking walk out, and right out the way that he goes, dude, is that a Maja and Boo hat? And I was like, hell yeah, it's Kid Boo. And he goes, oh hell yeah. And I was like, I did like the monkey scream. And he goes, yeah. I was like, all right, $30 well spent. Web page for ants. That's funny. All right, so are we gonna talk some NFTs and blockchain? I feel like you
sure,
had something to
why
say.
not? Yeah,
Go
we
for
can
it.
talk about some of that.
Go for it.
So Steam has officially wound up sitting here saying that NFTs, for those of you who don't know what an NFT is, it is a non-fungible token. Basically, what it boils down to is you get a token of some sort that officially says you own this piece of the game or this piece of something. What Steam has sat there and said is, seeing how NFTs are notorious for being scams and all sorts of shit like that, and just bad in general as far as practices behind them, Steam has officially said we are banning any games that are NFTs, blockchains on our platform. Period. End of story. If you're tied up in a NFT blockchain, bye bye. You're gone. We're not going to allow it. Epic is the ugly duckling of this kind of a thing. Um, because Epic is looking at things a little from both sides of the spectrum on this one. They're looking at it, well, not from both sides. They're looking at it with two different sets of glasses, effectively. They're sitting here saying that if you're a tech company and you're NFT blockchain related, you cannot do anything on our platform. If you are a game company and you're getting your money through NFTs and blockchains, come on, sell your game on our platform. It kind of doesn't make sense, but kind of does at the same time. Okay, what?
Oh, no, I was just waiting my turn. Um, the interesting thing here is, I don't know, does everybody know what blockchains is? Can we just assume at this point, or no?
I mean, I know because I've been digging into the what NFTs and blockchains are
I
for
know
these
because
shit.
we were actually considering making one of our games a blockchain game. Um, eh, you know what? We'll make that discussion for another time, maybe next week, because that
Okay.
is a huge topic to talk about.
Hmm.
Um, Basically, it's dealing with how data and cryptocurrency works.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
at the end of the day. Anyways, um, so the interesting thing for me was that after an interview with The Verge, I don't know, I guess magazine at this point. Um, Tim Sweeney tweeted that Epic Game Store (EGS) will welcome games that make use of blockchain tech, provided they follow the relevant laws, disclose their terms, and are age rated by an appropriate group. Let's just maybe take a second and dissect all of that. Just
Hmm.
this one tweet.
Yeah.
So let's start from the beginning. Um, that will utilize blockchain tech, provided the following relevant laws. Dude, there is basically like almost no laws at this
Hmm.
point about blockchain.
Oh yeah.
Um, it is so new. It's only really been prevalent the last 5 years, even, and
If
that's
that. Yeah.
right. 2017, I guess, is when it really 2016, 2017 is when it started really popping off.
Yeah.
Um, so there are no laws. So I don't really know what the fuck he's talking about there. Um, I just learned that this past weekend. Lol, that's funny. Um, I feel like there is uh, there is that's a okay. So nothing there. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Disclose their terms. Does anybody read the terms and conditions?
Considering that
Hey, welcome to all of our chats. Raise your hand in chat if you read terms and conditions for anything, flat out.
I
I
have.
can say I don't.
Okay. I was gonna say I have read the terms and conditions for one MMO, and oh
Mhm.
dear God, it was so fucking boring that
Yeah,
it's just like
that's why they
holy
do that.
shit. Yeah.
It's legalese.
Yeah. Exactly.
Has anybody actually ever read the TOS, the terms of service? No,
Yeah.
none of us do that. And the reason that they are 100 fucking pages long is because they don't want normies to do that. So
Hmm.
it's somewhere in there they could hide, and we're gonna be taking your third born child and go fuck yourselves. And we'd be like, whatever, dude. And you're like, yep, I agree. And the worst is when you have to scroll to the bottom, like you faked reading it. Like, come on, man. Like, okay, cool, cool, cool.
No
Yeah,
one
I
reads that
agree.
shit.
Whatever. Nobody reads that shit.
Yeah.
Like, so that's a fucking another moot point. So there are no laws. Nobody reads terms and conditions, and are age rated. Now here's the real fucking rub, by an appropriate group. Okay, so are we talking ESRB?
Yeah.
Are we talking about the different countries? Because like they have PEGI, they have
Hmm.
PEGI 16 in Europe. So like what they're saying is at this point, they kind of don't give a shit. Do whatever you want. If people fucking buy it or download it, it's on you. Which is a very dangerous attitude for Epic Store to take.
Hmm.
Because like the reason why Valve and Epic aren't, or Valve and the Steam store aren't doing it is because it's too sketchy,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Like, what if one of these titles that you let onto your store comes out and it ends up, oh, there's malware or there's something in the blockchain that ends up taking personal information from you or a credit card. And so they're just covering their ass.
Yep.
It's interesting that the Epic Game Store is looking, it almost sounds to me, now again, this just sounds like to me. Um, I read through specific sections depending on what it's for. Nerd. Um, I think that I think that Epic is looking to pad their numbers here, right? And to maybe open up a way to separate themselves from Steam, right? If Steam's not going to do it, and Epic is trying to poise themselves into a position where they have an edge almost on any front. It sounds to me like fucking Tim Sweeney's like, yeah, man, like whatever. There's more numbers in our store, and whatever, it's on you.
Um, I would agree with you on that, except for the simple fact of uh, Tim Sweeney has also come out with more tweets specifying that to the point where if you're doing the blockchain to develop games,
Right,
then you're welcome
right.
to sell on our thing. If you're doing the blockchain to develop technologies, then no, you're not welcome. Um, because like Steam, they don't just sell games; they sell software too.
Yeah,
So that's one huge area Steam has over Epic, and by Epic allowing NFTs and blockchain, it's like, are you gonna gain that much? Especially if you're saying, okay, it has to be a game related blockchain and not a tech related blockchain.
sure. But like if you just Google blockchain games, there are already thousands of them out there.
Yes, yes, there are.
So, they pad their stats by saying, hey, all you guys can come here. And then they can put out a stat maybe next year, maybe the year after. And there's extra thousands of these games. Now you have 10,000 games. That was the one that pushed you over into tens of thousands of games on the Epic Store. Um, eh, yeah, it's just a little dicey.
Yeah.
It's a risky move
Hmm.
on Epic's part. It just is. But I see where they're coming from. And to be fair, dude, this is a new age that we're in
Hmm.
at this point. Like, there isn't a day that goes by that I don't see shit on my feed about any sort of Bitcoin or blockchain or NFT. Like, we are in this weird transitional period now. So I kind of see that they're trying to be a little ahead of the curve,
Yeah.
but you could argue it both sides, right? That's also a fucking risky move.
Hmm.
Like,
Especially considering when you look at the history of the NFT market in general.
right,
Um, just hell, even in the past 6 months, in June, say a certain NFT was worth $100.
mm,
In June, take 90% of that and throw it out the window
right.
because the NFT market dropped by 90%, 90. So if something was worth $100, congratulations, it's now worth $10.
That's true. But there's also different marketplaces, like let's say CS:GO. The CS:GO skin trading industry has been going on for a long, long time, and it is still going strong because of the way that things are set up.
True.
I feel like because okay, go ahead, sir.
Go, keep going.
Like it's just that we're in a place. in time right now where companies don't know what they're liable for, right? And what a person's loss is that on them or is that ownership of their loss on that company? So, like, we're like, weirdly, I know that people don't fucking think about this a lot, but like, dude, we're still in the internet's wild, wild west.
Oh yeah,
Like, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? There is so much new shit coming out almost every year, a new technology, a new phase where that has not been the case since literally the wild, wild west. The internet kind of fucking like changed everything.
Mhm.
Uh, and sales and how cryptocurrency work is a thing we've never had before. Literally before, fuck, shit, you're right. 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. The concept was always there, but the actual opportunities to do these things, the foundations for these markets weren't available yet.
Yeah.
So, how, a- as a AAA developer, as a company, how do you respond? Do you try to like jump into the fucking deep end and get yourself a big piece of this pie? One of the one of the best analogies I had heard from a shitlord person had a great fucking back and forth from a very smart person. So when the internet came out, this dude was like, "Oh, well, look at all what happened in the late '90s, where all these fucking .com bubble came up and then blew up, and all these people lost all this money." The other guy, who was an economist, by the way, said that is true. No one's debating that. However, there were companies during that .com age that came out as these huge mega Goliath companies because they went in early.
Mhm.
I mean, we're at a point where video games are colliding with economics,
Yep.
right? Like, that's crazy, dude. Like, honestly, that's insane.
Yeah. It seems like, honestly, if you don't look into technology, you're intentionally trying to hamstring yourself, trying to not progress and move ahead. So
I mean, that's a 1950s white guy attitude, and it is not the 1950s anymore. It's just not.
yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like all these dudes on Wall Street who are like, "Oh, fucking cryptocurrency, that's never gonna work out. It's ridiculous, dude. Fuck you." Here's what I know. I know that I'm gonna now shoot. I'm gonna now shoot myself in my own credibility foot. In the Star Wars universe, boom, it's a great way to start. They only have one currency and it's credits. And I know that as uh, humanity, we are going to have to come up with one type of money unit and we're going to have to come up with one common language. In Star Wars, they call it common, by the way. Like, we just are. If we're going to come together and everything, it doesn't matter where you go, like, you go anywhere on the planet, you can go to Mars and there's our Mars base, they still speak common, whatever language it might be, whatever fucking payment. It's like you're not going to show up to Mars with a fucking suitcase full of fucking rubles and also like fucking US dollars. No, that's not going to make any sense. Like,
Yeah.
we are going to have to do that at some point. So all of these decisions, it's weirdly like while we're alive, like we are seeing the beginnings of how this is gonna play out. Really,
Mhm.
you know?
Oh yeah.
God, man, I sound like a fucking nozzle. I'm just saying, it's important. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like that. I like that our stupid little video game show just became an entire show about economics for fucking 10 minutes.
Yeah. No shit. And right at the end of the show too. It's
So
amazing.
if you guys want to learn any more, I have a book coming out. You can pay me in Dogecoin. I'll be
Uh,
accepting Ethereum if you guys want to get it. No,
uh,
is that helping? It's not helping, is it?
no, no, not really.
All right. Do you have anything else? Because I guess I don't have anything else
Okay, I actually have.
except for you could catch me on a TED Talk, and it'll be a cuckoo.
Let me guess. The TED Talk is about Chatterbait.
Yes, it will be about my Chatterbait coin that is coming out soon. I will be
uh,
sweeping Ethereum.
and playing Logjammer.
Yeah, that's how the fucking goddamn chain block works. Is he played Logjammer? What? This is how I tie everything together. This is why I get paid the big bucks. All right.
Yeah, yeah, and you're a pro streamer too. Okay, I do have a couple left, so I'm just gonna quick go like lightning around on this.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter Rise is coming over to PC. Everything you've done on the Switch, guess what? Nope, not porting over. Sorry, so sad. Too bad.
Yep.
Pokemon Go, they're getting a whole bunch of quality of life updates. A lot of things are geared more towards new players, which is kind of cool. But at the same point in time, when it's got like billions of downloads, at this point, literally, who hasn't played Pokemon Go? I mean, hell,
Yeah.
I've even played Pokemon Go, and I mean, I
The
haven't played
egg
many of them.
change was one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Those
Uh,
lowering egg costs.
Yep. They didn't really go into a whole bunch of the like Pokestop new functionalities. So that'll be an interesting thing to look into. Um, but in general, it's like okay, cool, quality of life stuff for new players, which is always nice.
Mhm.
Because like one thing they commented on is as far as like needing even something of a tutorial, even if it's just a text box saying do this. Uh,
Yeah.
the spin throw, I think is what it's called, or
Yep.
spin toss. Yeah, it's just like do a spin toss. There's nothing in the game to tell you how to do it, so it's just like what? Um, and then I kind of find it a little amazing. It's lasted till now, the end of the stream. We're now going to bag on Twitch.
Hey,
But in the lightning round, so they kind of get off easy.
this week.
Yeah, this week. So Twitch, they finally came out and said, yes, you caught us with our pants down. We at one point in time had a no ban list. Basically that
5 years ago.
yeah, yeah. Basically, they at one point in time did have a no ban list, but they go about admitting to it in the most politician excuse way possible. And then also, this was not their first major hack, believe it or not. There was another hack way back in 2016, 2017. I forget the exact year. But the thing is, though, uh, this hack, like people were noticing that there were mentions of pizza all over the place in this hack, as far as the documents. So people did some digging in and looked at some more things and realized, okay, the reason why this is that there were all these references to pizza is because the first hack happened way back in 2014, and it was referred to as urgent pizza. The way that Twitch supplemented payment to their employees at the time to get through this massive hack back then was here, have some free pizza, let's make some jokes, and here, have a couple of t-shirts.
The EA fucking had it.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just like, oh, okay, so you basically stood behind your employees, cracked the whip on their heads, and said, let's have some pizza, crack some jokes, and here, have a free t-shirt, because the one you're wearing right now kind of stinks, because you've been here for 20 hours. Literally. Like, that, people said during the 2014 one, they were there for like 20 hours a day sometimes. They got hotels right around the corner because it was just that much less of a commute.
Oof.
And it's just like, that's not a good image you want to send for future employees.
Yeah.
So,
The other thing they did say, I think it was Thursday last week, that the major hack did not include anyone's passwords or ADC or ACD information or your credit card information. The hack was exclusively to their source code and that list of how much streamers make. Now, again, can we take that with like a grain of salt this big? Like,
Yeah.
oh, really? Cool. I feel really secure. Thanks, Twitch.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but they did say that that was the case.
True.
Wink,
Yeah.
nudge.
Yeah.
Like,
And as far as why it didn't get any users' passwords or credit card info or anything like that, I think that was more because the hacker who was doing it or people who were doing it were trying to be a little bit more ethical as far as what their goal was.
right.
So as far as if Twitch were to ever have another hack happen, and who knows, they may not, I don't know. When, yeah, that's true too. Um, I I would not rely on the fact of, hey, they're not going to get passwords and credit card numbers. No, I would bank that they will get passwords and credit card numbers. So yeah, two-factor authentication, folks.
Thank you. Two-factor authentication. Everybody should do that. Anyone who's on our stream, please,
Exactly.
two-factor. Two-factor.
And speaking of tooth factor, I find this really interesting. Is I was watching TV. Actually, it was yesterday during my lunch break, and I saw an ad. I don't even remember what it was for, but it was advertising. It's effectively a service that you have on your phone, and it requires three-factor authentication: a password, a 2FA key, and then like some sort of physical key card kind of a thing that your phone then scans through through a RFID. So it's like, damn.
Dude, as a lazy guy, I'm gonna just say this. Like, I feel like two factors. like, what are they gonna get from me? Like, honestly, what are they gonna get? Like a broke ass fucking motherfucker who's got like $90. Like, come on,
Well,
I tried.
I
And then if they do get it, I'm gonna go, Chase, they stole that. And I go, yeah, nobody would. You don't have any money, so okay, take your money back.
yeah.
Like, all right, cool. Fuck you, Chase.
See, I'm more wondering at what point are we going to go to the whatever factor authentication to where it winds up being a thing of, okay,
Eyeball scanning.
huh?
Eyeball scanning.
Well,
Eyeball scanning.
I was going to say more along the lines of, okay, when's it going to get to a thing of, okay, I need to like two-factor this, that, blah. Okay, I'm in public, so I can't just bend over and drop my trousers for the prostate exam here. What do I do now?
You bring a stool sample with you, Rich. Good lord. Bring a
Silly
little
me.
tiny Q-tip, and you put it in your phone, and bam, it's like duty understood. And you go, all right, cool. And then you throw that fucking thing out, like, bam, done.
Every
I
factor.
like that. I like that. RK came in. She was like, "This is the best time of the show."
The bust on Twitch portion of our show, or the
No, this is just the
complete...
we're like Alex is drunk and we're just yelling about shit portion. I'm assuming is what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's possible too.
Yep.
Give me a 38 character password. Yeah, no.
Yeah, right. Seriously, like, and you can't use your last one. Come on, like,
Yeah.
you know what? At this point, give me one of those fucking like John Wick. Like, you know, he's got like the needle, and then you go, and then you put your dumb bloody thumbprint on it. Fine, whatever. Here, there you go.
Yep.
At least I know it's secure. My DNA is in it now. Here's an eyelash, assholes. Not an. Okay, I was gonna make that worse, but I stopped. I don't have eyelashes on my asshole. Just that.
God.
Boom! Nailed it. Thanks for being on the show with me, Rich.
Why would you have eyelashes on your asshole?
I'm just constantly like in a state of.
Were
like,
you sitting on someone's face?
No, well, you know, don't judge.
Dude, I'm not.
Yeah.
It's fun.
See, I agree. Yeah. All right.
Put your dick in the slot to verify.
Yeah, seriously. Pee hole identification.
Ugh.
We really rounded this one out nicely. Maybe this is the funnest part of the show.
Change it up is like, wow.
Hi, Change. Give us a follow. It's like this every week somehow. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, somehow. We don't know. It just ends up going to here.
Like this.
Yeah, it's true.
All right. Well, say goodbye to everyone, and then we'll say goodbye to each other.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you, Granox's stream for being here. Awesome as always. Next Tuesday.
Yep, sounds good.
As
And
always.
thank you, Alex's channel, for being here as well. Again, next Tuesday, we'll be back.
Yep.
Don't worry, don't go through all the news sites, because that's our job.
Yeah, we'll dig all this crap out for you. You won't have to do it.
Yeah.
All right. Be right back.
Yep. And falls and slips into the shadow. Oh, gee, thanks, Savage. Thanks. All right, guys. But yeah, that'll be it for tonight. We will be back next week, Tuesday, again with the show some more. With more shit and good things. Hopefully good things, but you never know. Tomorrow I'll be doing some Destiny 2. And then Friday, we'll be doing some more Phasmophobia. Alex and I are going to be teaming up. We're going to be getting 2 more people in at the moment. It looks like we're going to have another streamer in, and then we have an open spot. So, Savage, if you want to jump in, or whoever else, if we get a ton of people wanting to jump in, we'll try rotating people, maybe? I don't know. But then also, I'm going to put this out there, guys. Saturday the 30th. I'm throwing this out there. I'm throwing down the gauntlet. Saturday the 30th of October. It arrived. We're gonna do it. 1 man, 1 ship. 10-minute minimum. Do it. And I do word it that way specifically. Minimum. If we go longer than 10 minutes, all the better. But we're going to at least go for 10 minutes. But yeah, you get to look forward to that on October 30th. So mark it down, be here. The closer we get to the 30th, the closer I will have an exact time frame as to when we will be starting the one chip challenge. But either way, we're going for at least 10 minutes on it. As always, if you have enjoyed the stream, by all means, please feel free to hit that follow button. If you want to help support it, feel free to sub, cheer, donations, whatever. It's all good. Thank you very much, guys, for being here. I will catch you all tomorrow. Till then, later. Bye.